Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Retro PC Garage. We're obviously not in my garage today like my previous episodes because there is construction going on the block next to me to be developed, and it's loud and crazy, and being in my garage is way too noisy for a video. So I am just in my office where I normally shoot all my other content typically, and I'm just doing this here instead. So, but it is a garage episode nonetheless because we are going to be tearing apart my actual gaming laptop. This is a MSI GE73. Well, actually, it's probably not that exact model. I should say that's the tutorial I'll be using to tear it apart because it is basically the exact same chassis as one of those, but it's an MSI Raider. I honestly don't know anymore what the model of this is. I really don't care. What matters to me is the specs. This has a GTX 1070, which I'm sad to say is kind of becoming dated now, unbelievably. But it still runs great and runs everything I like to run so far at decent settings. So I'll be hanging on to it for a little while longer, I'm sure. No need to upgrade yet, but I know the time is soon. I am starting to get the itch for those RTX graphics chips and graphics cards, excuse me, and really want to be able to take advantage of what RTX has to offer here, probably sooner than later, but nonetheless, it's a great laptop. It's serving me very well still, and it still gets the job done for most things I need to run at fairly decent speeds. But nonetheless, I digress. What's happening today is I bought this laptop around, it was slightly used in, I believe, 2018. So that's 4 years ago. It's time to tear it apart, get some of the dust out of there, and get some new thermal paste. So I bought some basic thermal paste here. Corsair's TM30. I think, I'm not one that goes crazy about good or bad. Honestly, I just want new. So I want to see how dry the thermal paste is. Hopefully it's not, but the key reason I'm doing this is because, one, yeah, it's been 4 years. It's probably a good idea. Two, I do see some dust collection on the fan vents, and of course, it's just a good idea if I'm opening it up to clean it out to do new thermal paste, because why not? Doesn't hurt. So I found a great tutorial I'll be following. I'll put a link to the tutorial in this video, but hopefully my tutorial also helps you out. So of course, step one, touch something metal, which I've already done, and then you just gotta hit the screws. You'll be needing your basic smudging tool, your guitar pick, and just a Phillips head. So I recommend a kit of some kind. These are very, very affordable online these days. Amazon, you name it, anywhere. You can get pretty decent kits. I just have a basic, I can't even say the name of this here, so I'm just going to show it. That's what I bought on Amazon for a pretty decent price. Comes packed with everything I'd ever need for jobs like this. And first things first, I'm going to start popping my screws out. So let's do that now. Alright, now for the fun part. All screws look to be out, and this is the part I always kind of dread with anything I work on, and it's the popping of the clips. So close, almost there. Alright, so the case is off, and that was a doozy. These grill plates on the back for these fans are incredibly difficult. I did lose one clip, sadly, but it also looks like, because this was opened up in the past, there was other one already broken off, because I'm not finding the the damaged piece anywhere, but nonetheless, I always fear that, and you know, it does happen when you try to do your own repairs. Sometimes I just think it's unavoidable the way some of these are built. But I'm glad I'm in here because I'm seeing right away these fans are filthy disgusting, and that is a problem. So I'm going to use my brush and my dusting machine, which I need to go get, and get some of this out right away. Alright, so I have a basic brush here. I have my dust buster with a little foam tipped end to just kind of start this process. So let's see what we can do here first. Get as much surface dust off as we can. Then we'll start breaking this up. And this is going to be a two-handed process here. Really want to get these fans clean because this is I would say the most important point. Next to, of course, new thermal paste, which we'll see if it needs. We'll do regardless, but wow, are these gross. And I have a feeling this is a big reason why my laptop was not running as cool. Wasn't running as cool as it used to. We'll just continue the process here. Looking a lot better. And I'll show you a comparison here in a moment. Just really breaking up all that dust. They seem to spin just fine. And they look great now. So, bringing this into play here to show you. Oh, my screws are magnetizing to my laptop. I should probably put those in a different spot here. Oh, crap, I got another busted clip. Really not thrilled about that, of course. But, so here's one of the fans, and it is very, very dirty. And just after a simple cleaning like that and vacuuming, I hope you can tell the difference. It's night and day here, but that's much, much, much better. And that's what we want to see, of course. We don't want dirtiness. Oh, got them. 4 clips. Just disgusting. That sucks. Okay, so the heatsink is off, and, well, almost off. Let me pop this clip for the fan here. I had to do this off camera because this is my first time doing one of these types of heat sinks, and I didn't really know what I was doing, so I had to learn myself, and unfortunately I didn't think about turning on the camera, so my apologies. But to let you know, there are numbers where all of the key screws are that really help you out in this process. And a couple of key ports to pop, like this port here, and of course your 2 fan ports. I'm glad I popped this because there is dust on the underside of this heat sink, which I am going to get off. Kind of take a 180 to the fans, which is great. I'll be honest, it was pretty scary taking this off, you know. Not a fun time by any means, popping off a heatsink. Definitely know what I'm doing now for next time to make it far less scary. But, you know, basically, this whole thing just comes right out pretty nicely, actually, once I figured out what I was doing. I had to watch a different tutorial to do it. And again, my apologies, I got a little too into the repair, and I did not turn on the camera. But I'll be honest, all you missed was me watching a screen, swearing a few times, and finally just going, all right, I'm going to rip this thing off, wiggled it, popped it off. It is very much stuck and attached in some gooey spots. For example, here, these are all very gooey and adhesive. But ultimately, I got to my 2 chips that I need to play ball with right here and here, which I am going to now clean, and I can confirm the thermal paste is very dry. So it's time to get some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and a Q-tip and get these surfaces very clean so we can apply some new thermal paste. I am super excited now that I get to make this happen for this laptop. So I got some Q-tips here. I'm going to get just a little isopropyl on there. Before I do that, I'm going to see if I can just get any of this off without it, and I certainly can. So it's not incredibly dry, but it is definitely turned into a kind of goop that, of all my years watching YouTube, has shown me that that is not the best sign, but it's also not the worst sign. I've also watched people tear laptops apart where it is just complete crust underneath. And I'm happy to say it's not gotten to that point yet, which leads me to believe that it's probably pretty decent thermal paste on here. But nonetheless, I am going to do my part in making sure that we get some fresh stuff on here so we're good for the years to come. Got the fans brushed out really nice here. The surfaces are all clean. The undersides of the fans are now cleaned out. I am going to take a quick brush to the vents here. This is my opportunity to make sure they look really good. I'm just going to give them, oh yeah, there we go. Oh, definitely cleaning my office after this. Nothing big sticking in there now, so we are good. Time to reapply this gigantic monster. So, before I do that, I'm going to get this in place here. Everything looks to have laid back down very nicely and is in line. I'm going to start on my, go kind of right to left here. Get these all back in place. Go. So I lost a couple of clips, nothing major, nothing to notice. Everything clicks on and looks great. Still got a couple of things popping into place with those screws here. Make sure everything's good. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick move some of this junk, and then I'm gonna pull this out of the way. Because the moment of truth, folks, is does it turn on? And the answer to that, folks, is yes, it does turn on. It did not turn on the first time I tried, though. It just didn't power on when I had hoped it would. So you're getting this after the fact video here, after me panicking. It turns out I just needed to plug it in for it to power on after that teardown. I don't know why, but if that happens to you, just go ahead and plug it in and it should be just fine. I can say that I'm already seeing the benefits of this project. It's much quieter. It's much more just doesn't run all the time. I don't hear those fans all the time when it's just sitting here idle. And that's what I was hoping to fix. And I'm really excited to see how this games and edits and all that stuff because it's definitely become the quieter laptop I remember, and just makes me feel really good about the fact that I did this now. I should have done it probably sooner than 4 years, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found this tutorial beneficial. I had a lot of fun with this and a lot of frustration, but in the end, I'm happy that it is done. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Goodbye.